Imagine discovering that your child's daycare was secretly drugging them. How would you react? In the frosty month of November, in the year 2023, the Manchester Police Department in New Hampshire received a troubling report. It was an allegation that would send shivers down any parent's spine. Whispers of unsafe practices at an in-home daycare. The address? 316 Amory Street. The wheels of justice began to turn, as the police initiated what would become a lengthy investigation. The details were scant, the offenses vague, but the implications were grave. The safety of children, the most precious members of our society, was potentially at risk. The police, with their unwavering dedication to justice, dived headfirst into the case. Every lead was followed, every stone unturned, as they sought to uncover the truth hidden beneath the allegations. Their perseverance paid off when they uncovered a shocking revelation. The children's food at this daycare was being sprinkled with melatonin, a hormone that plays a significant role in our sleep-wake cycle. This was done without the knowledge or consent of the parents, a fact that only added to the gravity of the situation. What was more concerning was the uncertainty that surrounded the case. How long had these daycare workers been dosing the children's food with this drug? How much were they giving them? The police were yet to disclose how this practice was initially discovered, leaving everyone in the dark and brimming with questions. This incident marked the beginning of a shocking case that would soon unravel. As the investigation progressed, the unsettling truth started to emerge. The Manchester police, after receiving an initial report of unsafe practices at the daycare, embarked on a thorough investigation. It was through this painstaking process that they discovered the children's food was being sprinkled with melatonin, a hormone naturally produced by the body. This was being done without the knowledge or consent of the parents, a violation of trust that sent shockwaves through the community. Melatonin, for those who might not be familiar, plays a significant role in our sleep-wake cycle. Our bodies naturally produce higher levels of melatonin at night, signaling to our bodies that it's time to rest. In some cases, melatonin supplements are used as a treatment for certain sleep disorders, such as delayed sleep phase, or to provide relief from insomnia and jet lag. It's like nature's way of helping us wind down when the sun sets. But the question on everyone's mind was, why would daycare workers use melatonin on children? The answer may lie in its effects. Melatonin can induce feelings of sleepiness, and in a daycare setting, it might have been used to encourage the children to nap or settle down. However, this is purely speculative, and the investigation is still ongoing. According to the Mayo Clinic, melatonin is generally safe for short-term use. Unlike many sleep medications, you are unlikely to become dependent on it, have a diminished response after repeated use, or experience a hangover effect. Yet, it's important to note that the safety of melatonin is based on its correct usage. It's not intended to be used without the knowledge or consent of those taking it, let alone administered to children without their parents' knowledge. The amount of melatonin that was being used and the length of time this practice was carried out remains unclear. What is clear, though, is that the daycare workers were administering a substance to children without parental consent or knowledge, which is a serious breach of trust and a violation of professional responsibility. While melatonin is generally safe for short-term use, its use without parental consent raised serious concerns. With the evidence mounting, it was time for the police to act. The mounting evidence against the daycare workers led to the issuance of arrest warrants. The individuals implicated in this disturbing case were the business owner herself, 52-year-old Sally Dreckman, and her employees, 51-year-old Tracy Inney, and two 23-year-old women, Caitlin Filardo and Jessica Foster. The police didn't have to go on a manhunt, however. It appears the daycare workers realized the gravity of their actions, or perhaps they believed that cooperating with the authorities would work in their favor. Whatever the reasons, all four suspects turned themselves into the police voluntarily, a moment that must have been fraught with tension, fears, and regrets. But what does it mean to turn oneself in? For these four individuals, it meant acknowledging their part in a scheme that had potentially jeopardized the health and well-being of innocent children. It meant facing the consequences of their actions, actions that were not only ethically and morally wrong, but also illegal. The wheels of justice had begun to turn. Each of the daycare workers was charged with 10 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, a serious offense that carries hefty penalties. These charges reflect the severity of their actions, of the trust they broke, and the innocence they exploited. We might wonder why they did it. Was it the allure of an easy workday? Was it indifference to the potential harm they could cause? Or was it simply a lack of understanding of the possible consequences of their actions? While we may never know their true motives, what we do know is that their actions have had serious repercussions, not just for themselves but for the children they were meant to protect and the parents who trusted them. In the end, the arrests served as a stark reminder of the importance of trust and responsibility, particularly when it comes to the care and well-being of our most vulnerable citizens, our children. The story of the daycare in Manchester, New Hampshire serves as a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of what can happen when those entrusted with the care of children betray that trust. Each of the daycare workers faced 10 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. The arrests marked a significant milestone in the case, but the story was far from over. The investigation continued and the legal proceedings were just beginning. The daycare workers would have their day in court where the full extent of their actions would come to light. In the wake of these shocking revelations, questions remained. The aftermath of this incident sent tremors through the community and beyond, leaving a trail of uncertainty and distrust. The investigation was still in full swing, with the authorities tirelessly piecing together the timeline of this unsettling practice. Just how long had these daycare workers been sprinkling melatonin on children's food? And perhaps more alarming, what quantities of the hormone were these unsuspecting children ingesting? The sense of betrayal was palpable. Parents, who had entrusted their precious children to these individuals, were left grappling with a harsh reality. They had been blindsided, their trust shattered. The very people they had relied upon to care for their children had been allegedly endangering their welfare. It was a bitter pill to swallow. The community reacted with disbelief and outrage. This wasn't just a story about a daycare in Manchester, New Hampshire. It was a tale that struck a chord with parents everywhere. It underscored a primal fear: the safety of our children in the hands of others. The reaction rippled outwards, sparking conversations about trust, safety, and the very nature of childcare. For the families directly involved, the impact was far-reaching. Parents were left questioning their decisions, doubting their judgment. The children, too young to understand the complexity of the situation, were nonetheless affected. They were thrust into a whirlwind of investigations and medical checkups, their routine disrupted. In the midst of this chaos, another question loomed large. What would be the long-term effects, if any, on the children who had ingested the melatonin? While research suggests that melatonin is generally safe for short-term use, the uncertainty of the dosage and duration raised concerns. As the community grappled with the aftermath, the daycare at 316 Amory Street stood as a stark symbol of a trust betrayed. The owner, Sally Dreckman, and her employees, Tracy Inney, Caitlin Filardo, and Jessica Foster, faced the consequences of their alleged actions. Each was charged with 10 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, their actions casting a long shadow over the field of childcare. The case serves as a stark reminder of the importance of trust and transparency in childcare. As the dust settles, the lessons learned from this incident will undoubtedly continue to resonate, prompting a hard look at practices and regulations in the childcare industry. So, what can we take away from this disturbing case? The story we've unraveled today is not just a tale of negligence and betrayal, but also a stark reminder of the importance of trust and vigilance in childcare settings. Throughout this video, we've navigated the alarming discovery of melatonin-laced food in a daycare, the meticulous police investigation that followed, the subsequent arrests, and the aftermath of this shocking incident. Each phase of this narrative serves as a lesson, as a cautionary tale that underscores the gravity of duty of care and the serious consequences of its breach. One crucial takeaway is the indispensable role of vigilance. It was vigilance that led to the initial report of unsafe practices and set the wheels of justice in motion. This vigilance should not only be exercised by daycare authorities, but equally by parents and guardians. It's about asking questions, about knowing what's happening in your child's daily routine, and about being an active participant in their care. Next, we learn about the paramount importance of open communication between caregivers and parents. Trust is built on transparency, on clear and honest dialogue. Parents must feel comfortable asking about their child's day, about the food they eat, and about the practices employed to help them sleep or calm down. Similarly, caregivers should be forthright and proactive in sharing such information. Finally, this case highlights the severe repercussions of breaching trust in a childcare setting. The daycare workers, in their misguided attempt to simplify their tasks, endangered the welfare of the children under their care. The outcome: arrests, charges, and a shattered reputation. This incident serves as a harsh reminder that shortcuts in childcare are not just unethical, but can lead to serious legal consequences. In the end, it's a potent reminder that the safety and well-being of our children should always be our top priority. The trust placed in caregivers is sacred, and it's incumbent upon all of us to ensure that this trust is never compromised. Now, more than ever, we must ensure the safety of our children. It's a call to action that underlines the very essence of our responsibility as parents, guardians, and responsible citizens. In a world where unexpected situations can occur even in the most trusted environments, staying informed is our strongest shield. It's essential to keep up to date with the latest news and developments in child safety and welfare. The more we know, the better equipped we are to protect our children from potential harm. Open communication with childcare providers is also key. Ask questions, seek clarity, and ensure transparency. Understand the policies, practices, and philosophies of your childcare provider. Make sure they align with your own values and expectations. After all, these are the people you entrust with the care of your most precious ones. The power of community cannot be overstated. Let's use this platform to share our thoughts and experiences. The comment section below is more than just a space for remarks. It's a forum for exchange, where we can learn from each other, share insights, and offer support. Every story, every perspective adds to our collective understanding and enriches our approach to child safety. And finally, do subscribe to this channel for more informative videos. Knowledge is power, and through these videos, we aim to empower you. We cover a wide range of topics, always with the goal of providing you with the information you need to make the best decisions for your family. Your engagement, your vigilance, and your commitment to staying informed are what will make the difference. Together, we can build a safer environment for our children. One where they can grow, learn, and thrive without fear. Remember, together, we can make a difference. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and most importantly, keep our children safe.